Good morning, everyone. Good morning to all of you. How are you all? So first, let me know, is audio and video both are okay? Are we good to go? Is audio and video both are okay? Okay, yes. Okay, both are okay. So let's start the session here. So we have done the fundamental classes in which we have discussed the basic understanding of economics, like what is economics, what are economic system, our sectors, and all we have discussed. So today we are starting our topic-wise syllabus in which we are discussing fundamentals of economics. That's the second. I can say that the second unit in your syllabus, that is fundamentals of economics, we are covering. Why I am starting with the fundamentals of economics? Because when you cover the first unit, you will see in your syllabus that in the first unit they are discussing about what was the economic scenario of India, like what was the era of economy pre-independence, after independence, and post-2008 crisis. So to understand the situation of the economy pre-independence, post-independence, or post-2008 crisis, we need to first understand what is economy, what are the economic system, and how it works. And for that purpose, we are starting with the fundamentals of economics. Okay, for that purpose, we are starting from the fundamental of economics. So let's start. We have almost discussed everything which is required to the understanding of fundamentals of economics, but we will be discussing that with the theories. So till now we have just had a conceptual clarity of each and everything which is required to understand for the economics, but now we are going to cover the theory part also in this particular session because we are starting with the subject now. So first of all, before coming to the theories and all, the basic understanding of economics, we have discussed that there is two things, that is economy and economics. So we have discussed what is economy and what is economics. Okay, so what is economy? Economy is simply a system, a kind of system in which production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services will be done. So what is economy? Economy is simply a system in which production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services will be done. That is known as your economic. Okay, that system is known as your economy. So what is economics now? Economics is simply the study of this system. The study of this system is economics. Okay, the study of this system is economics. Clear? Achha, do let me know why we are studying this system. What is the need of studying this system? Why we have to study the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services? Why we have to study the system of the country? What is the reason behind it? Let me know. If you don't know the answer of any particular question, do let me know that also. So what is the reason behind studying the economies? Why you need to study? To understand the situation, okay. What about rest? Saving resources for future generation, okay. Come to country growth position, okay. What next? Financial condition. To know the financial condition, okay. Demand and surplus. See, the reason behind it is that why we are studying these resources, because in the economy we have scarce resources. We have very limited resources, we have very scarce resources, and we have to decide like how to allocate, how to distribute these resources so that the unlimited needs and wants will be fulfilled. Unlimited needs and wants will be fulfilled. That is the reason behind why we are studying economy. Okay, this is the reason behind why we are studying economy. Clear? So the reason behind studying this economy, the reason behind studying this economic system is that there are very limited resources, but the needs and wants are unlimited. So how to allocate the resources, how to use resources so that these needs will be fulfilled. This is the reason behind doing what? Doing a study of economy. Clear? Okay, now let's move forward and discuss with the definitions. So first of all, what is economics? Allocation of scarce resources of an economy and according to the priority in order to satisfy the needs and wants of individual as well as society. So what is economics? The definition itself is saying allocation of scarce resources of an economy according to the priority of individual person and society so that the needs and wants of the society as well as individual person will be fulfilled. So why we are studying all these? Why we are studying the system? To know how to allocate the resources, how to use the resources so that the needs and wants will be fulfilled. Clear? Next. Now, this economics has been defined with Greek word. Screen is not visible. Priya is saying screen is not visible. Is everyone having an issue in the screen? If you are not facing any kind of issue, just write all okay. Do write all okay if you are not facing any kind of issue. All okay, na? Priya, do try to rejoin the session. Okay, now, so the economics comes from the word that is Greek word oikonomikos or the oikonomia. Okay, so if I talk about the economics word has been formed from the term Greek word that is oikonomikos or oikonomia. And what is the meaning of this word? See, the oikonomikos has derived the economics and it means household management. So actually this oikonomikos literally translates to the task of managing a household. Hana? It translates to the task of managing a household. So how you are managing your house is known as your economics. Is known as your oikonomikos. Similarly, how you are managing your nation, how you are managing your country is known as economics. So the economics word derived from the Greek word and that Greek word is oikonomikos. And what is the meaning of oikonomikos? Simply to manage your household is the meaning of oikonomikos. Similarly, economics means management of your economy. How you are managing your economy is known as oikonomikos. Or you can say economics, right? So do remember the term from where we have taken the economics word. Now, the branches of economics. So we have discussed the economics has been divided into two parts by Mr. Ragnar Fritsch. I have already told you that. And that parts are macro and microeconomics, and this has been done in the year 1933. So in 1933, Mr. Ragnar Fritsch divided the economics in two branches or in two types, and those types are known as microeconomics and macroeconomics. We have discussed that. Acha, do let me know who is the father of economics. Who is the father of economics? Let me know. Very good, Mr. Adam Smith. The father of economics is Mr. Adam Smith. Acha, who is the father of microeconomics? Who is the father of microeconomics? Again the same. The father of microeconomics is also Mr. Adam Smith. Right. Now, who is the father of macroeconomics? Who is the father of macroeconomics? Yes, very good. Mr. John Maynard Keynes, Mr. J.M. Keynes. Okay? So these are the father of economics and macro or microeconomics. Now, so Mr. Ragnar Fritsch divided the economics into two parts or two branches, that is microeconomics and macroeconomics. Now, if I talk about what is micro and what is macro, first of all, Mr. Ragnar Fritz coined the widely used term pair macro and microeconomics in 1933. So, the macroeconomics which concentrate on the behavior of the economy as a whole. What is macroeconomics? Macroeconomics is simply which concentrate on the economy as a whole. That is macroeconomics. Now, what is microeconomics? Microeconomics which focuses on individual people and business. So, microeconomics talks about the individual person, firm or company, but macroeconomics is the economy which talks about economy as a whole. Clear? So, this definition has been given by Mr. Ragnar Fritz. This branches of economics has been introduced by Mr. Ragnar Fritz. Arvind sir, why you are raising hand? Do you have any doubt? So, this is the micro and macroeconomics. Now, next. So, let's understand in detail what is microeconomics and how it works. So, microeconomics is a part of economics that contemplates the traits of the decision makers within the economy, such as households, individual and enterprises. So, the term firm is usually used to refer to all sort of traits. Okay, and microeconomics is different from the study of macroeconomics that consider the economy as an entity. So, what we are saying here that if you talk about the microeconomics, so microeconomics is a part of your economics, okay, and it talks about or it tells us about the characteristics of the decision maker within the economy, whether it is a household, whether it is an individual person, whether it is an enterprises, okay, but it is telling us the characteristics of the decision makers. Now, the term firm is usually used to refer to all sort of traits. When you are using a firm word, it means you're talking about all types of trades. You are talking about all types of sectors that is related to the particular firm. But when it comes to the macroeconomics talks about the economy as a whole. So what macroeconomics is doing? Macroeconomics consider economy as an entity, while microeconomics is study individual entities. So microeconomics is studying individual entities, but the macroeconomics is studying economy as an entity. So macroeconomics consider that the economy is single entity, and the macroeconomics is studying the whole economy as an entity only. This is the microeconomics. Next. So when it comes to the microeconomics, there are certain terms, there are certain theories which we understand in the microeconomics. So first of all, dearth, choice and opportunity cost. Dearth means scarcity. Okay, dearth means scarcity, choice and opportunity cost. So the manifesto on which the microeconomics notion is built recycles at the very heart of economic reasonability of how the decision makers pick between the scarcity resources and that have alternative uses or substitute use. So what we are saying that the very heart of economics is to understand that how the decision makers of your country, the decision maker can be your government if the economy is socialistic, the decision making can be your private enterprises if the economy is capitalistic, and the decision making can be both when the economy is mixed economy. Okay, so it is saying how the decision makers decide to use the limited resources, scarce resources, by using them by alternate ways. So this decision of decision makers is defining the scarcity, is defining the choice of people, is defining the opportunity cost in the economy. Okay, so the customers demand goods and services and producer offer these for sale, but none of the individuals can acquire everything they require from the economic system. So what we are saying, first of all, that the scarcity, choice and opportunity cost, all these things will be studied in the microeconomics, but all these things depends that how the decision making of your decision makers of your country, the policy makers of your country make choices to use the resources, to use the scarce resources to fulfill the needs and wants of the society. Okay, the way they are using the resources, the alternative uses they are finding out from the resources is actually a microeconomics. Okay, and this microeconomics will be helping the customer for demand of goods and services, and the producers are, according to the study of all these things, customers are demanding goods and services and producers are trying to provide them the supply of those goods and services. But still, after doing all these things, after having the decision maker's choice how to use the resources, what alternative uses can be there, how to allocate the resources, after doing all these things, one important thing is there, but still none of the individuals can acquire everything they require from the economic system. After doing all these things, there is a thing that you will not be able to get whatever you want from the economic system, because whatever planning you are doing, however you are making alternative uses of your resources, but there always be the scarcity of resources and all the demands of the individual will not be fulfilled. Clear? Let me know, is it clear till now? Is it clear till now? Let me know so that I will be continuing the session. Okay, clear. All the demand not fulfilled. Yes, every time all of the demand of the people will not be fulfilled. This is the truth of the economy. Okay, this is the truth of the economy, that you won't be able to fulfill the whole needs and wants of the people at any time. Okay, next. Now, the price mechanism is there. So, price mechanism is dependent on the individual study. So, what we are saying, a prime part of the study of microeconomics is the committed to the investigation of how prices are determined in the marketplace. So, one of the what we can say, one of the prime part or one of the important part of microeconomics study is that it investigates the market and decide on what basis the prices has been decided. Okay, because the price plays a very important role in your market, and that price, how to decide the price of the commodity will be depending on the investigation you are doing in the economy. Okay, by doing investigation on the individual person. So, I have described you that the price theory has been given by the microeconomics. Okay, I have already explained you that the price theory has been given by the microeconomics. So, if I talk about the price theory, what is price theory? Simply deciding the prices on the basis of a study of individual person. So, on the basis of a study of individual person, you are deciding the prices of goods and services. That is known as price theory, and that has been defined under the microeconomics. Okay, so when we talk about the price mechanism, the investigation of how prices are determined in the marketplace has been done by the microeconomics. Okay, next. So, manufacturers and customers initiate forces that we term them as supply and demand accordingly, and it is their interaction within the marketplace that devises the price mechanism. Like how the prices will be decided, how we can know what price of what commodity should be there. It totally depends on the market forces. What market forces? The demand and supply. So, it is saying that manufacturer and customer initiate the forces that we term then the supply and demand. So, customers are creating demand, manufacturers are providing supply. Okay, and if we talk about the interaction between demand and supply, that interaction between demand and supply will generate the price mechanism. Okay, will help to know what price mechanism should be used. Okay, let's say for example, when the demand is more than supply, what will happen with the prices? Let me know. If the demand is more than supply, what will happen with the prices? It will increase. Okay, yes, very good. Everyone is saying prices are going to rise. And if the demand is less than the supply, then what happens with the prices? Okay, definitely it will be reducing the prices. Okay, so if we talk about the demand and supply, the demand will be created by customers and the supply will be provided by manufacturers, and the relation between these two, the interaction between the demand and supply will be deciding the price mechanism that we have discussed here. Okay, clear this paragraph? This price mechanism is clear to everyone? Keep answering that yes, it is okay or not, so that I will be continuing the session. Clear to all. Next, let's talk about demand. Let's talk about demand. Now, what is demand? Demand is something that has to be initiated by the consumer. So, demand is initiated by the needs of the consumer. So, as per our requirement, as per our need, we are creating the demand. Okay, as per our need, we are creating the demand. So, the nature of demand incurs much to the basic worth that customers discern the goods or services to possess. So, the degree of demand for the goods or services is determined by the various factors. Okay, so when we talk about the demand, demand is simply created by, initiated by the consumer. So, the nature of demand incurs much to the basic worth that consumer discern the goods and services to possess. Let's say how we are deciding that we want this particular product as per the utility of the product. Like if I'm creating a demand of any particular product. Why I'm creating the demand of particular product? Because that product is fulfilling my needs, my wants. Okay, that's why I'm demanding that goods and services. So whenever there is a demand of particular goods, why consumer is creating the demand of the goods? Because that particular consumer have a certain utility of the product. It means that product is giving certain in return to the consumer. That's why consumer is creating the demand of the product. Okay, like for example, if we talk about demand, so there are certain fundamentals of demand. There are certain fundamentals of demand, like how demand will be created. So, the first fundamental is willingness. To create the demand of any particular product, to create the demand of any particular product, first you need willingness. Okay, you should have a willingness to have a particular product. Okay, but the willingness is not sufficient. You also need to have money. You also need to have money. If you have a willingness to purchase any particular goods and services, that is good, because willingness is the first fundamental of creating demand. Okay, but only the willingness is not going to help you to create the demand. With the willingness, you need money also to spend. Okay, and if you have money and willingness, then you need money expenditure capacity. Money expenditure capacity. Let's say, for example, I have a willingness to have an iPhone. I want an iPhone. So, I have a willingness to have iPhone, right? For example. Now, sorry. So, I am having a willingness of having an iPhone. I also have a money. Let's say the price of the iPhone is 1.5 lakh and I have that money also. So, first willingness is there, 1.5 lakh money is there. But that 1.5 lakh money which I have to spend that money on the basic need: food, shelter, clothes, primary education, clean drinking water, sanitation, etc. And I have to spend that money on the iPhone. So, I want to fulfill my basic needs as well as I want to purchase the iPhone. Is it possible? Can I will be doing both the things? Let me know. I have only 1.5 lakh rupees, that's the price of iPhone, and I want my basic needs to be fulfilled and I want iPhone also. Is it possible that I will be purchasing both? No, no. So, if you have a willingness, that's the one fundamental of demand. That's one step towards the demand. Second, if you have money, that you have gone to the 2 steps towards creating a demand. And the third step should be your expenditure capacity should be there. You have a money, but you don't have expenditure capacity because you have other needs to fulfill. Then how you will purchase the iPhone? So, the simple thing, these 3 things should be there. Apart from that, in a certain price, a certain quality and quantity should be there. Okay. On a certain price, a certain quality and quantity should be there. Audio video is not there. Pankaj sir is saying audio video is not there. Is everyone facing audio video issue? No. Pankaj sir, do try to rejoin the session. Okay. So the next fundamentals are certain price, certain quality and quantity. Like, for example, I went to purchase a phone. So the shopkeeper is telling me that iPhone is there and you have to pay 1.5 lakh for one iPhone. Okay. And I am ready to pay that amount because I know the goodwill of iPhone. I know the benefits of iPhone. I know that this particular product have a very good customer feedbacks and all. So I know the brand value is there, goodwill is there. So I will be ready to spend 1.5 lakh on a single phone. But let's say there is a XYZ company whose customer feedback is not good. So will I be spending 1.5 lakh on the phone of that particular company? Yes or no? Will I be spending 1.5 lakh on the top kind of company's product whose customer feedback is not good? Obviously not. Right, so that's what we are saying, that the certain price, in a certain price, a certain quality and quantity should be there. And in a certain price, a certain quality and quantity should be there. That's what we are talking about. Like, if I am spending 10 rupees only, let's say for example, I am purchasing 2 rupee pen, like we used to purchase the 2 rupee pen, or we still purchase the 2 rupee pen. So when we purchase the pen of 2 rupees, we start, after purchasing, we try to write down something to check this is working or not, right? So we are spending only 2 rupees, but still we are checking this 2 rupees worth of the investment or not. This is what we are saying, that when you are spending a certain price, then what required? A certain quality and quantity in return is required. Okay, now, 1 second. Chaliye, next is, the next fundamental is here is on a certain time. In a certain time, you want that particular product. Like right now, we want iPhone. Right now, you want iPhone, I want iPhones. Because we are at that age where we will use the iPhone, where we want to show off. Like, why people are purchasing phone? I think around 70 to 80% population who are having an iPhone in India, they just purchase to do the show off. Okay. They don't know the actual utility of the phone. They are just purchasing the iPhone and playing the Candy Crush in the iPhone. So they don't know the actual utility of the iPhone, why the Apple has made this phone. They don't using that utility of the phone, but still they are purchasing that just to do the show off. So right now you and I will be demanding the iPhone because we are at that particular age where we can do the show off and we can use the features of the phone. But when we will come to the age of, let's say 50 years, 60 years, will be demanding the iPhone? Obviously not. Now at that particular age we will not be demanding the iPhone. So in a certain time, by a certain price, if you are getting a certain quality and quantity of a product, that will be creating your demand. So these are the certain fundamentals of demand which we have discussed, and if all these things are available there for a particular product, that will be creating your demand. Let me know, is it clear? The fundamental of demand is clear to everyone? Is there any doubt? Okay, clear to all. Correct. Next. So this is what we are saying here. So you can see here, demand is initiated by the needs of the consumer. The nature of demand incurs much to the basic word that customer discerns the goods or services to possess. So the degree of demand for the goods or services is determined by the various factors. Like what? Like the price of goods and services, like the price of other goods and services. The anomalants means your income, your salary. Then the taste and proclivity, it means the taste and preference of the customer, and the expectations of the customer. Like I am expecting, if I am purchasing the Adda 24/7 JAIIB target batch, I am expecting that if I am purchasing that Adda 24/7 target batch, I will be qualifying the JAIIB. That's my expectation. That's why I'm giving money to the Adda 24/7. But let's say, for example, I have purchased the batch and I have not qualified the JAIIB. I am not getting in the particular batch what I required to qualify the JAIIB exam. Will I be purchasing again the product of Adda 24/7? Obviously not. That's what we are talking about. The expectations, the customer satisfaction is required to generate the demand of any particular product. It means income. your salary. Okay, it also depends. Like for example, at 7 is providing the target batch for the 3700, for example. So I should be having that money now, otherwise I will not be able to purchase the product. Now the supply. Supply means we can say availability of stock. Can I say that supply means availability of stock? Is it right or wrong? Supply means availability of stock. It is correct, na? So supply means availability of stock. So supply refers to the number of goods and services offered to the marketplace by the manufacturer. So simply the manufacturer, the producer is making available the goods and services in the market. That is the supply. So we can delineate the association between the quantity demanded and the price. We can also contemplate the link between the quantity supplied and the price. Okay, let's say for example, when the quantity demanded is more and the quantity supplied is less, then prices are going to rise. If the quantity demanded is less but the quantity supplied is more, the prices are going to fall. So that's what we are saying, that they are creating a certain relationship with the prices. Okay, so if demand is there but the manufacturers are unable to provide supply of that particular product, that will be rising the prices of goods and services. This is what the last two lines are saying, that between the quantity demanded and the price and the quantity supplied and the price, the relation can be defined as per the available stock in the economy. And always remember, there will be inverse relation. There will always be inverse relation between demand and supply. There always be inverse relation between demand and supply. Okay, next. Now, incentives and behavior. So, how people as individual or in firm react to the situation with which they are confronted. That is the incentives and behavior. So, like whatever incentive you are providing to the people and what kind of behavior, what kind of reaction of theirs in return to that particular service or initiative you are providing. Demand increase, supply increase. No, that's not mandatory. Demand and supply always have a inverse relation. So whenever demand increases, supply is definitely going to be decreased. And if this happens, that demand equals to the supply, then the equilibrium situation will be there. Okay. But always the relation will be inverse. Okay, Anand sir. Priya ma'am, do drop a message to me on Telegram that you are facing this issue only in my class. Okay. If you are not facing the same issue with the audio and video, in other classes you are facing only in my class this issue. So drop a message to me on Telegram. You can search by my name on Telegram, you will find me. Okay, you will find the channel there and you can message me to me in the personal chat or in the Telegram channel. Okay, I will be forwarding that to the management. No, Pawan sir, this is English medium class. The timing of bilingual class is 6 to 7 AM. Okay. Now the utility theory. Utility means how useful is that is for you. So the consumers will choose to purchase and consume a combination of goods that will maximize their happiness or utility, subject to the constraint of how much income they have available to spend. Now, what does it mean? Why I am creating a demand of any particular product? Because that product is providing me happiness. That product is providing me that product is fulfilling my need. Like it happens na, sometime we order something online. Like I have ordered certain clothes on the Myntra, and that product came and it was so good. So I feel happy, Hana? I feel happy. Whenever we purchase something new, we feel happy. So every product giving us the happiness as well as the it fulfills the needs of our of individual person. Like for example, I wanted to purchase a phone. I need phone because I'm going far from my family. I'm going to leave far from my family. So I need to be in contact with them. So I need a phone. Okay. So if I got the phone of that keypad phone, I got that keypad phone. So my utility will be fulfilled, but I will not be happy because everyone around me is having a smartphone and I'm using that keypad phone of Samsung. Hana? So I will not be happy. So how the consumer is creating demand? On the basis of the combination of two things. First, the happiness, and the second is your demand. Second is your utility. Okay, so if I have a smartphone, I will be happy because I have a good phone, and I will be, my utility, my requirement is also fulfilled by that particular phone. Okay. Next, production theory. What production theory is saying? This is the study of production or the process of converting input into output. Now, what is production process? Production process means you have a certain resources, you have a certain raw material, you are using that raw material to convert that into finished good. So you have the raw material, you are converting that particular raw material into finished goods. That is known as your production process. So that's what we are saying, that production theory is what? The study of production, right? Or the process of converting inputs into outputs. So producers seek to choose the combination of inputs and methods of combining them that will minimize cost in order to maximize their profits. Okay, so production simply means you are making that product available for the people by converting the raw material into the finished goods. Like we have studied the three sectors of economy, that is primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. We have discussed about that now. So if I talk about primary sector, what is primary sector? What is primary sector? Let me know. Agriculture sector, right? What is secondary sector? What is secondary sector? Manufacturing sector. What is secondary sector? It is a manufacturing sector, right? Correct. Now, what is tertiary sector? What is tertiary sector? That is a service sector. Now, in agriculture sector, I am collecting the natural resources. And in manufacturing sector or industrial sector, or I can say in the secondary sector, I am converting that raw material into finished goods. So I took the wood from the natural resources, I processed that wood in the industry, and I made the furniture out of it. So this process of collecting wood and converting that to the furniture is known as your production process, and that is the conversion. That is the meaning of you are converting input into the output. Okay, and this will be done. Every manufacturer wants that they have to invest less amount of money in manufacturing the goods and services, and more profit they will be able to earn on that. So that's what the last point is saying, that producer seeks to choose the combination of inputs and methods of combining them that they will minimize the cost to produce goods and services, and they can be able to maximize their profit. Okay, so they find out such way in which the costing of a particular product will be less, but the benefit will be more. Next, price theory. Now, what is price theory? So, I have told you in the foundation class also that price theory is defined by microeconomics. Okay, price theory is defined by whom? By microeconomics. So, utility and production theory interact to produce the theory of supply and demand, which determine the prices in the competitive marketplace. So what we are saying, that the utility and production theory, they interact to produce the theory of supply and demand, because if there is a utility, more utility of a product will create more demand of the product. And whenever there is more demand of the product, the supply is going to be decreased. And when there is difference between demand and supply, the prices are going to rise. So what we are saying, that the utility and production theory is determining what price should be, because on the basis of utility, there will be a demand. Okay. On the basis of production theory, there will be a supply. There will be a supply. So this utility and production theory is helping us to create demand and supply in the market. Okay, they are trying to help us and they are trying to create the demand and supply in the market, or on the basis of this utility theory and production theory, the prices will be defined. The prices will be defined. So in a perfectly competitive market, it concludes that the price demanded by consumers is the same supplied by producers. Okay, so that result in economic equilibrium. So whenever there is quantity demanded equals to the quantity supplied, it will be creating equilibrium in the market. And that never happens. This never happens, because always there's an inverse relation between the demand and supply. So this never happens. But if this happen, that will be creating the equilibrium. Let me know price theory is clear. Till now, whatever we have discussed is clear to everyone. Okay, clear. Next. Next, we have a macroeconomics. So what is macroeconomics? Macroeconomics means simply the study of economy. The study of whole is known as macroeconomics. Okay, that is macroeconomics. So macroeconomics is a branch of economics that studies how an overall economy, the market, the businesses, the consumer and the government behave. So macroeconomics simply means the study of economy. Okay, the study of aggregate is known as macroeconomics. So macroeconomics is simply a branch of economics that studies how an overall economy, the market, business, consumer, government, they are behaving. Okay, and macroeconomics examines economy-wide phenomena such as your inflation, price level, rate of economic growth, national income, gross domestic product and changes in unemployment. Okay, and changes in unemployment. All these things will be covered under the macroeconomics. So macroeconomics is studying the whole economy. Okay, macroeconomics is studying the whole economy, and it will be talking about inflation, the price level, rate of economic growth, the national income, the GDP, the unemployment. All these things will be studied at the macroeconomic level. All these things will be studied at the economy level, not at the individual level. You are talking about the economy level. But do remember that the macroeconomics data are not actually exact. If you're talking about national income, if you're talking about per capita income, if you're talking about GDP, unemployment, so they are not the accurate data always, because it is very hard to find out the actual data. It is very hard to maintain or to have a accurate macroeconomics data, because it is very hard to study the whole economy. Sorry. Clear? So why I am saying that the macroeconomics data is not actually the accurate data, because you can't know, because it's very hard to go each and every household and ask how many people of you are working and how many of you are not working. So maybe chances in this month you went to the particular household in which 2 people were unemployed, but in the next month when you have released the report, they 2 people are still already have the job till then. So it is very hard to find out the accurate data of the macroeconomics. So whatever data we are collecting, that's an average. Okay, now some of the key questions addressed by the macroeconomics include: first, what causes unemployment? Second, what causes inflation? Third, what creates or stimulates economic growth? Okay, so the macroeconomics attempts to measure how well an economy is performing, understand what forces drive it, and project how performance can improve. So macroeconomics always talk about the major level, the broad level. So how to know? It always try to understand that how better the economy is working or how the economy is working, and try to understand what forces will be helping us to make the economic much better. What kind of method should be used to improve the economic condition? All these things will be defined by the macroeconomics. All these things will be defined by the macroeconomics. Clear? Let me know, clear till now? Should I move forward? Okay, next. So the macroeconomics is the branch of economics. It is one of the branch of economics that deals with the structure, performance, behavior, decision making of the whole or aggregate economy. So macroeconomics is simply one of the branch of economics which deals with the structure of economy, which deals with the performance of economy, which deals with the decision making of the economy. And all these things will be done for the whole economy, for the aggregate economy. So now the two main areas of macroeconomic research are long-term economic growth and short-term business cycle. So the two main areas on which the macroeconomics is working, that how to maintain a long-term economic growth and how to focus on the short-term business cycle of each and every business. So if you are capable of making the business cycle right at the short-term level, you definitely will be having the long-term economic growth. Okay, now what is business cycle? Business cycle is this type of S-shaped curve that is defining how the business is going on. Like if the business is here, that is the expansion mode. Like business is expanding slowly. At this phase, we can say that business is at the peak, at the boom level. And at this phase, we can say that the contraction is happening. And the business contraction is happening, it means demand started reducing. Then at this place, we can say we are at the trough place. It means we are at the much negative phase of the business. So this is the business cycle. If you are capable of maintaining this cycle of your business, definitely the long-term economic growth will be there. Okay, so the macroeconomics in its modern form is often defined as starting with the Mr. John Maynard Keynes and his theories about the market behavior and the governmental policies in the 1930s. Several schools of thought have developed since. Then, in contrast to macroeconomics, microeconomics is more focused on the influences and on and choices made by the individual actors in the economy, people, companies, industry, etc. So in comparison to macroeconomics, the microeconomics is there, which more focus on the basis of the role of individual person in the economy. Okay, like what or how the individual person is working in the economy, that will be defined by the microeconomics in comparison to macroeconomics. Clear? So here we have discussed what is microeconomics and what is macroeconomics. Then the micro versus macroeconomics. What is the difference between these? So first, macroeconomics differs from microeconomics, which focuses on a smaller factor that affect choices made by individual and companies. So microeconomics always talk about the individual companies' choices or individual person choices. Factors studied in both micro and macroeconomics typically influence one another. So both will influence one another, but the micro will talk about more about the individual and macro will talk about the whole economy. Now, a key distinction between micro and macro is that macroeconomics aggregates can sometimes behave in very different ways or even the opposite of the similar microeconomic values. For example, Mr. Keynes referenced the so-called paradox of thrift, which argues that individuals save money to build wealth. Okay, in micro. However, when everyone tries to increase their savings at once, it can contribute to a slowdown in the economy and less wealth in the aggregate, that is the macro. Like what happened at the micro level, we can say when you're studying individual person, like if I am saving more money, at the individual level, if I am saving more money, I will be creating more wealth of mine. Okay, I will be creating more wealth because I am saving more money. But at the macro level, this theory don't work, because if at the macro level everybody started maintaining their wealth, then how economy will get the investment money, how economy will grow. So these two are the opposite to each other sometimes as we study in the micro level and the macro level. However, when everyone tries to increase their savings at once, it can contribute to the slowdown in the economy. Okay, because everybody is saving money, nobody is want to invest money in the market, and when nobody is wanting to invest money in the market, there is no demand. When there is no demand, there will be no economic growth. So that's the difference between micro and macro. So this is because there would be reduction in spending affecting the business revenue and lowering worker pay. That I have discussed, like if you are not investing, you are not demanding goods and services. If you are not demanding, the production will not be there. When the production will not be there, employment will not be there. And your GDP, economic growth, nothing will be there. So both the things are working differently to the different situations. Okay, now microeconomics looks at economic tendency or what can happen when individual make certain choices. Individuals are typically classified into subgroups such as buyers and sellers and business owners. So these actors interact with each other according to the laws of supply and demand for resources using money, interest rate and pricing mechanism for the coordination. So if I talk about the microeconomics is saying that individual person, company, firm, they are discussing with each other what their needs and wants are, and they are fulfilling on the basis of law of supply and demand their needs and wants. That is the microeconomics. Clear? So we have discussed what is microeconomics, what is macroeconomics. Now we are going to discuss the definition of the economics on the basis of different economics, but in the next class, not today. Okay. So today we are going to end the session here only. Now the information for those people who have joined us first time in the classes. If you have not enrolled in the batch, now how to enroll, just click on the JAIIB CAIIB part. If you want to go with the target batch, you can go with the target batch by clicking here. Click on the view all, you will find all the batches which are available for the JAIIB 23. So if you want to go with the target batch of JAIIB, just click on the batch, do read all the details. After reading all the details, click on the buy now option. When you click on the buy now option, you have to enter a coupon code, that is Y496. And click on the apply. When you apply, you will find here 80% discount is going on. For 1% additional discount, you can go to the application. You will get 1% additional discount there by using the coins. And 6 months validity will there. All the JAIIB exams subjects will be covered. Okay. And this offer is valid till 12 PM only. After that, this offer will not be valid. Apart from that, you can go with the JAIIB CAIIB Mahapack, that will be giving more benefit because it will be having double validity with the 81% off. So to enroll, you can go with the JAIIB ka Mahapack for 1 year validity. You can go with the JAIIB and CAIIB ka Mahapack for 2 year validity, which I personally suggest you should go with the JAIIB CAIIB Mahapack because 2 years validity is there. It will be helping you to qualify the JAIIB as well as CAIIB. After enrolling in the JAIIB CAIIB Mahapack, you don't have to go anywhere else because this individual Mahapack with the double validity of 2 years will be helping you to qualify the JAIIB as well as CAIIB with the next 2 years. Okay. So do read all the details, all the JAIIB subject, all the CAIIB compulsory paper and elective paper will be covered here. To enroll, again have to click on the buy now, enter a code Y496 and click on the apply. When you apply, you will find 80% discount here. It will be showing 80% discount, but 1% additional discount will be available if you use the coins which are available on the application. So the validity will be 2 years. JAIIB, CAIIB both will be qualified with the one investment of the Mahapack. And this 81% discount plus the double validity is there. For today only, if you use the code Y496, you will get this benefit. Okay, is there any doubt in today's session? No doubts, okay. In microeconomics, production is only for sales, not consumption. No. In microeconomics, you are producing goods for the consumption only now, because you are studying individual person. When you are studying individual person, you are fulfilling their needs, and their needs is to consume the goods and services. Okay, Vasanti ma'am. So I hope everything is clear in this particular session. So I will be ending the session here. We'll meet again in the next class. But before that, do one thing. Revise all the concepts which we have covered. Example of what? I have given the example of everything. Rajen sir, example of what? Let me know. Which particular specific point you want an example. Let me know. I have already given you. Let's say, for example, there are 105 students in the class. Out of this 105 students, I will be studying only one student. So this is a microeconomics, because I am studying on individual person. That is a microeconomics. And if I am talking about all the 105 students of this class, that will be known as macroeconomics. So when you are studying for individual person, that will be known as micro. And when you are studying the whole economy, that will be a macro. Clear now? The class name will be class 2 only. Okay, sir, Sikar sir. Okay, so let's end here. See you in the next class. Do revise the concept which we have covered today. And till now, today, whatever concepts we have covered, do revise those particular session. Okay, so take care all. Have a good day. Bye-bye.